The season of spend is almost upon us, with the holidays creeping ever closer. Can you believe that in just 2 months we have the next generation of consoles? And in 3 months, it's Christmas? What the heck happened? This wild year is whirring by, and I'm not complaining, because I'd love for it to be over and to get to a new calendar where maybe things will be a little bit easier, a little bit better. But Switch is powering through with some pretty awesome games. So saving on some of the smaller stuff is a great way to build out your library. And today I'm taking you through a bunch of lowest price ever sales, including some awesome new games on the eShop. Let's go, baby. Make sure to smash that like button if you enjoy getting your Switch games cheap, and let me know in the comments down below which ones sound good, which ones you're targeting, and which ones you'd recommend to a friend. Let's dive right in. First, a few sales on the Amazon. Borderlands Legendary Collection is the lowest price it's been. $30, that puts it at 40% off. These games have continued to decline in price since launch, which is crazy because I thought at $50 for 3 Borderlands games, pretty darn good. But at $30, $10 a pop, look, you're paying less than the old Resident Evils. This is an insanely good deal. $10 for Borderlands 1, pre-sequel, and Borderlands 2. Come on. Come on. Great package. The games run pretty darn well, and 2K has been showing love, so let's love them back. Link in the description down below if you want to grab the game. XCOM 2 Collection is also down to 40% off if you are a strategy fan. This game is very, very fun as well. And then my boy BIOSHOCK, it's sold out on Amazon because $30 for all 3 BIOSHOCKs is one of the best prices you're going to see. It is available, though, on Target for $29.99, so if you do like that price, if you are interested in playing my favorite video game franchise of all time, Down in Rapture, Up in Columbia, Andrew Ryan, Big Daddy, Elizabeth Songbird, and some of the most intriguing gameplay and storytelling you're going to find in this medium that play awesome on the go, $30 is a great price, and it's 40% off. Over the eShop, we've got Hades. This is a brand new title that just released on Switch thanks to that lovely partner showcase we had last week. Now, Hades is a wonderful roguelite, and I know you probably have played a bunch of them, but this one's really good. From the makers of Bastion, Transistor, and Pyre, Supergiant Games has delivered an absolutely crispy title. The combat is so satisfying, the upgrades are plenty, and the characters, the art, the little dialogue bits, so intriguing. The game looks magical on Switch. It runs incredibly well, and you can get it till September 24th and off $19.99. Not too shabby. I like getting my brand new games at a discount, and Nintendo is pretty good about that on the eShop. This one's a must play. It was dropped the same day as the date was announced in the partner showcase, and I think this is going to quickly rise as one of the top indie titles on the system, joining the likes of Celeste, Katana Zero, my favorite SteamWorld Quest, games of that sort, and that ilk. It's going to creep up there. This is a top tier title, and maybe Supergiant's best work yet. We've also got Summer in Mara. You like Animal Crossing? You waiting for the fall update? Well, Summer in Mara is promising to be a game in that vein. It's got a massive amount of islands, though. 20 different islands, and at 20% off $19.99. This is the lowest price it's been till September 27th. Now, I will say the game did not review as well as I was hoping, but it still has received positive marks. There's over 300 quests, so it's a little bit more driven than something like Animal Crossing, but you get to build out your own island with buildings, crops, animals, day-night cycle, and then soar across the ocean in your boat. It's a very pretty game, and one that I think would be a nice complement if you're getting burnt out on Animal Crossing and still enjoy these style games, things that are calm, charming, and fun, and ones that you can customize. Let's move to Darkest Dungeon, basically the complete opposite of Summer in Mara. This would be like winter in, I don't know, the worst place. But Darkest Dungeon is far from the worst game. It's actually fantastic. And dropping down to $14.99, that's 40% off till September 26th, the lowest it's been on the eShop. It is a very challenging and consuming roguelike turn-based RPG. And it's very dark. This game is almost depressing in the presentation. The characters, the psychological effects that you'll face while diving into these dungeons. Your characters are just depleted and dying, and the monsters are evil and grotesque, but the game systems are so strong and so balanced. It is fun, it is tough, very satisfying, and a great grab on the Switch. Supposedly, I think they're working on Darkest Dungeon 2. That'd be cool. Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate, baby. 60% off, $15.99, the lowest it's ever been till October 2nd in preparation for the newly announced Monster Hunter Rise. That game looks so good. Now, I will let you know that Generations is the old school Monster Hunter style, so we're talking a lot of load screens, separated areas, and not as good of graphics. Rise promises to fix all that, delivering more of the Monster Hunter World experience to Nintendo Switch players, but that doesn't hit till March 26, 2021. In the meantime, for $16, you can get in, figure out what Monster Hunter is all about, learn about the combat, the elongated boss battles, the challenge, the grind, the chase, get familiar with the lore in the world, build out your repertoire of armaments, and decide which weapons are your favorite. I recommend it. It's still fun, especially at $15.99. Full price, I'd say pass and wait, but $15.99, not too shabby. Capcom also has Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen, which isn't getting a sequel, but a fun game for $15.99. That's 50% off till October 2nd, the lowest it's been. This one is more like open world Dark Souls Monster Hunter hybrid action RPG game. I'm not the biggest fan, but it's still a good title. I recognize its quality. You will be working around with 3 AI companions and trying to defeat some large monsters, so give it a go if you're interested. We've got Vampire the Masquerade Coteries of New York, and Vampire the Masquerade is a franchise that is gaining popularity. I'm super sad that the true sequel on next gen is delayed till 2021. I really want to play that. It's not on Switch though, so if you want to get in on the vampire lore, the Masquerade Coteries of New York is a story-driven adventure, basically a narrative novel, what do you call those, like an interactive novel. You get to pick characters though, which is cool. They have different powers and different ways of interacting in the dialogue trees. There's different quests, and then a lot of different options and diverting paths in the playthrough, and eventually different endings. It is $10.99, by the way, 45% off till September 25th, the lowest it's been. And if you're into that sort of thing, I've heard pretty good things. Now, Undertale, a classic of the modern era, based on classics of the forgotten era. $9.99, that's the lowest it's been on the eShop. 33% off till September 23rd, so get in on this one quick. Undertale, it's an RPG, and it plays with the, I guess, it plays like an RPG, but it plays with the what you expect from an RPG. It's very different, it's very charming. It is, of course, beloved, cult classic, acclaimed, and a lot of quirky, interesting mechanics, characters, and ideas. So if you haven't played Undertale, this might be a good opportunity. I'd recommend just grabbing it to give it a go at $10. As long as you get an hour or two out of it, you're in good shape, and I think you will. Now we've got Troll and I, which is my troll pick of the week, but goodness gracious, $2.99. Supposedly one of the worst games on Switch. You want to find out why? It's $2.99, okay? That puts it at 90% off till September 22nd. If you've got $3 lying around and you want to just have a hoot of a time, you want to laugh at how bad a game can be, then give Troll and I a go. You probably should stay away, but it's only $3, so I had to bring it up because the game, oh my gosh, the Troll looks so gross, and the game itself is not good at all. If you want to just be a part of the conversation, you want to know that you played one of the worst games that the Switch has to offer, a system that has so many star-studded titles, maybe Troll and I is for you. But better yet, Thumper. Now, this is the only game on the list that isn't lowest price ever, but at $5.99, 70% off till September 23rd, Thumper is still really worthwhile. This is a very intense, almost brain warp type rhythm action game, but there is a subtle violence to the sounds, an ominous nature to the difficulty and the imagery, but it's very, very fun. It's a game that kind of sticks with you. There are boss battles. It's very challenging. You're going to be going very fast and doing your best to survive rhythmically through these very laser-based and kind of creepy worlds. Next up, Mad Carnage. Our cheap sheet pick of the week. Mad Carnage is 29 cents, down 94% off, my friends, till October the 6th. It is a tactical turn-based game in the Mad Max style. So you're working kind of in this post-apocalyptic car combat future. All sorts of upgrades. It's got a single-player campaign. It's got multiplayer battles. They're not online. They're local, just to let you know. And an immersive storyline, which is pretty interesting. A decently fully featured package for 29 cents. Have you ever seen a game for 29 cents on Switch? I don't know. It's hilarious to me when games are like a cent or 29 cents. And this one actually has merit. This one's actually pretty good. Like, we're talking like 7, 8 out of 10. Give it a go if you're bored. THARSIS. A very, very oppressively challenging space game where the dice do not like you. $7.19, that's 40% off till October the 9th. It's turn-based strategy in space. It reminds me of nasty FTL. I like FTL better, but this game challenges you. It's kind of like a board game meets a video game, which is cool. You're managing this crew of 4 astronauts trying to survive as best you can on the ship, and the dice rolls are doom and gloom. And you have to make sure that you're ready for the challenge. Luckily, there is an easy mode here if that's more your speed, but I do like this one for those of you that are hardcore gamers. HYPERPARASITE is $8.99, 50% off till October 6th. This is a twin-stick shooter roguelite where you get to body snatch over 60 characters that all have different abilities and powers. Pretty cool concept and idea. Some, I would say, ugly graphics, but you might find the style charming. It's very, like, I don't know, like, sloppy punk? That's how I would describe this. But it's got a lot of vibrant colors, and the weaponry and the body snatching is a cool idea and mechanic. Twin-stick shooting roguelites are always fun. I enjoy those a lot. And it's a good price point. The lowest it's been, half off. I wouldn't recommend this, I don't think, at 18, but at $9, give it a go. Liberated is $13.39. That's 33% off till October 1st, the lowest it's been. This game got a lot of love when it released earlier this year in June. It is an action-adventure title set in a comic book world, but you're actually like playing in a comic book, which is pretty darn sweet. You're trying to navigate the panels in this cyberpunk reality where human rights are dying away. And if you're surprised or concerned by what's going on in current times, maybe this game will be right up your alley. It's got an amazing aesthetic, crisp gameplay, and received a lot of really high marks. And I think it's an underrated indie game that has not gotten a lot of love. It was featured in an Indie World Showcase, but since then, I've heard nothing of it, except that it got really good reviews and reminds people of Watchmen. Sounds good to me. ATOMICROPS is down to $10.49. That's 30% off until September 23rd. I wanted to love this game so much. The idea of a roguelite meets farming meets combat sounded like Animal Crossing gone wrong. But it's a little more boring than that. The runs are kind of condensed. The game feels smaller than I anticipated. And the progression and carryover, while there, I don't know, it's just not as... It just didn't come together as well as I wanted. But at 30% off, $10.49, I still think you'll get your money's worth. I still think it's a fun idea. You do get to, like, it's still got, like, a lot of that, like, Stardew or Harvest Moon type things. You are farming. You do get to marry people. You're fighting off all this stuff. There's cool upgrades. There's a village that you go back to after every day. Interesting enemy types. Interesting weaponry. There's just some missing ingredient for me that doesn't make it great. But it just needs to be good at 30% off. So it still gets my recommendation. Nickelodeon Kart Racers 2 Grand Prix is $33.99. That's a pre-order for 15% off. Obviously the lowest it's been till October the 6th. But what I appreciate about this game is the immense roster. 100 Nickelodeon icons are in this game. 30 as playable racers, 70 as crew members. Imagine if Nintendo did this. A roster of 100. Drive down the streets of Hyrule as Ganon. Fly through the skies as Star Fox. And swim through the sea as King K. Rool. Can you even imagine how cool that would be for Mario Kart 9? Local multiplayer for 4, online multiplayer for 8, 28 tracks. It's a lot of tracks. It seems like they're investing heavily in this game. And I want to see if it's able to put the pedal to the metal. It is a sequel. It's coming out on October the 6th, which is when the sale ends. So if you want to grab it, if you're interested, if you're desperate for more kart racing action like I am, this is the sale for you. Blood Will Be Spilled is $2.99, 80% off till October the 3rd. I actually played this game back when we were checking out a whole bunch of indies, and it's actually kind of intriguing. I would never recommend it at full price, but at $2.99, $3, it's kind of like SteamWorld Heist meets A Bug's Life, and the main character is voiced by the dude who does Adam Jensen for Deus Ex, so they got some good talent here. You are moving through these worlds, kind of action style, but then you stop for these combat sequences that are like SteamWorld, exactly out of SteamWorld Heist. So it's not really turn-based, but it's like aim and fire, like strategy battles. And then there's platforming, and it's got this weird like cowboy ant world. Very quirky, very interesting. Not amazing, but for $3, I think you'd have fun if you want to check it out. TRINE Ultimate Collection is $14.99. That's 70% off till September 22nd. The lowest price it's ever been. This one gives you a whole bunch of TRINE. The Ultimate Collection. And I think at that price point, getting all the Trines for $15 is freaking sweet. I would recommend that. I think they're very, very fun games, and you're going to get a lot of enjoyment. Very beautiful art. Masterful way of using 3 characters to solve puzzles. And they kind of ran out their welcome after 4 games kind of in a row. But if you haven't played them, or if you get to pick and choose, and you don't have to, do them sequentially or whatever, you can just whatever you want. it'd be pretty cool. I really like that a lot. They are cooperative, which is always enjoyable. They've got a nice 2.5D style, and I think it's a nice collection to acquire, and you'll get a lot of mileage for $15. Our last game of the day is the Lord of the Rings Adventure Card Game Definitive Edition for $9.99. That's 50% off till September 22nd, the lowest it's been. If you guys like card games, you like Lord of the Rings, perfect combo, a pretty fun game. It's got campaign style and online play. You know, I'm a big fan of like Slay the Spire. I really like Elder Scrolls Legends. I've been playing this new one on Steam called Ring of Pain, which I hope comes to Switch. And you guys know I love SteamWorld Quest. That's like the cream of the crop because it's like a campaign-driven game with the SteamWorld art style and the characters and just so many additions, and that game constantly builds on itself. But if you do like more like traditional like TCGs, CCGs, then this might be for you. But that'll do it for our list today, my friends. My friends, which games are you targeting? Which ones do you want to pick up? Which ones do you recommend? Let us know in the comments down below. Smash that like button if you had fun today and enjoy getting your Switch games cheap. My recommendations are Hades is a must-buy. Hades is a must-buy even at $20. It's 20% off, which isn't a huge discount, but grab it before it goes full price because this one's going to ride to the top of the eShop charts for a while, I believe. And then, of course, you know I got to recommend BIOSHOCK at $30. Borderlands at $30 as well is a pretty sweet deal. I think Summer Mara can be a fun Animal Crossing stopgap at $20. Darkest Dungeon is great at $15. Monster Hunter, if you want to get into that franchise, at $16 is fantastic. I like that a lot. If you want to be weird and wild, Troll and I for $3 is pretty darn interesting. And then, even though it's not the lowest price ever, I'm going to give a little bit of love to Thumper at $5.99. But give me your picks in the comments down below, everybody. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure you're staying safe, staying healthy, staying smart out there. Have a fantastic rest of your day. I love you and appreciate you guys so much. Subscribe for sale videos all the time. And we always give you the lowest prices you've ever found, compiling some great games on the eShop and elsewhere for your Nintendo Switch. For now, though, have a wonderful rest of your day, everybody. SwitchForce out.